Welcome. I will be sharing the audio version of my book, Against All Odds, The Inspiring Story of Khalid. If you want the written version, you can buy it on Amazon or read it for free on my website. Find both links below. Kindly like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Chapter 2, Becoming a Teacher. The journey was so important not just because of the Umrah, but because it is also an opportunity to meet her dad, whom she meets only a few times a year. Yusra's mom lives with her children and a few other relatives. Their dad, being a busy businessman, sets time at least thrice a year to have a quality time with his family. Hajia Aisha, Yusra's mom, however, visits Al-Haji Mutawali at least monthly. Khalid bid her farewell, and the next morning, he and Ismail left for Bauchi. Khalid lost his phone on the way and couldn't welcome back his line. He felt so miserable when he had no way of speaking to Yusra. He felt like crying. He just acted strong. 4 months later, Khalid was posted to Kaduna for his NYSC as a teacher at Bright International School after he left the camp. Before he left, Ismail's father arranged for him an accommodation and gave him some amount of money to keep him going. Khalid's first day at work was a Monday morning. He reached the school at about 7 a.m. and moved straight to the vice principal's office, the same place where he collected his acceptance letter a few days back. He was assigned a desk at the staff room and then was directed to start teaching computer studies to all classes, making him the only computer studies teacher in the entire school. Classes started at 7:45 a.m. after the morning assembly. Khalid's first class started with JSS 3 at 10:30 a.m. The student's uniform is an inclusion of white shirts and black trousers. The junior classes wore short-sleeved white shirts, while the senior classes wore long-sleeved one. The classes had an average of 32 students per class, who sat in pairs of 4 rows. Since Khalid has been practicing his public and inspiring speaking skills, he then decided to put it in handy. He started by cracking a joke about himself. "You may wonder where my uniform is, seeing that I'm a new student." He said that because of his average height and slim figure. The students laughed, and he continued, "I am Khalid Abubakar, and I'm your new computer studies teacher." He told them a bit about himself. He then requested everyone to introduce themselves. The students did as they were told. He then proceeded and told them that he would love them to change their mindset from the average Nigerian mentality of studying just to make money. He tried to make them understand that the most important part of school is the education, not the grades. Thus, they shouldn't focus on the grades but rather the knowledge itself. There were some murmurs, especially in the last rows. Khalid ignored the distraction and continued. He challenged them to dream big, even bigger than themselves, and encouraged them to read books, preferring autobiographies and biographies of notable and successful people. He then ended the class by sharing his syllabus, grading system, rules and regulations. Khalid repeated similar activities in all his first classes, and from the second classes, he kicked off the syllabus. He taught the students in an interactive way by sharing some interesting facts and motivational stories with them regarding their topic of discussion. In a few weeks' time, he was able to individually identify, differentiate, and know the performance and study styles of most of his students. As you would guess, Khalid was liked in a short span of time, more especially after the first tests. At this time, Khalid's OCD was becoming a bit severe. This is mainly because of the thoughts he has been going through about starting up a business and how to get a communication link to Yusra. For the business part, he decided to start up a small poultry farm with a number of 40 chickens in a small cage beside his Face Me, I Face You room. Luckily, Khalid's area enjoys electricity amidst all its rareness, so he was able to connect an effective light bulb to his cage. He wakes up every morning, refills the poultry's feeds and water, and then turns off the bulb after his morning adhkar, Allah's remembrance. He then exercises for a few minutes, takes his bath, and then leaves for the school he teaches at. He uses his free time to read both Islamic and productive books. After Maghrib, evening prayers, he stays at the mosque for Quran and other Islamic studies until around 9 p.m. He then visits his few friends sometimes before going back home. Other times, he stayed at one of the majlises, a regular discussion group, around his area. At times, Khalid played football in the evenings too. Every night before sleeping, he thinks about his family and Yusra. He wonders if he would ever meet them again. Khalid just endures and sleeps each night and continues his routine in the day just like a normal person with little worries does. One fateful night, Khalid's phone began ringing while he was dozing off. He tiredly picked up the phone and saw a new number, silenced the phone and continued sleeping. This happened twice. In the morning, he continued with his daily routine and completely forgot to call back the number. Meanwhile, the telecom companies tricked people by calling them with a normal phone number but ended up playing computer-recorded ads. So when he remembered the call, he just ignored it. Some weeks later, Khalid's chickens were ready for sale. Although some of the chickens died, Khalid was able to sell 32 within a few days and saved himself at a minimal loss. He didn't give up and he ordered 40 new rounds again. At that time, bright international school students were getting ready to write exams. Khalid and the other teachers became really occupied in the process until the exams were written, and it was finally time to compile the results. Khalid observed the tedious tasks that the teachers go through. Suddenly, he remembered about his university's final project. He met the principal and told him about it. The principal was a difficult person to deal with, but luckily he liked Khalid because of his good character. In addition, Khalid never asked him for anything. Therefore, he gave Khalid the permission to introduce it to the other teachers. Khalid did that. Then, he and other teachers that are familiar with computers used the software he developed in the project for their result compilation. The teachers were really impressed with the software, and they mentioned it in their concluding staff meeting. The principal then called Khalid because of the comments. They discussed and concluded that the software be officially used for result processing starting from the following term. Khalid excitedly started enjoying his break. He decided to travel to Amman State, his former university's location. Khalid visited his old friends and the mosques he used to go to. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. You can leave your comments below. If you want the written version, you can buy it on Amazon or read it for free on my website. Find both links below. See you in the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share with others.